Alright, and here we are again, and thinking about it, I think we are going to go ahead and go to Stormwind, because we'll go ahead and put the herbs that we've gotten in the bank, and we will try to sell a little bit of leather. That'll help bring a little bit of gold in here in the next couple days. And I think we'll go ahead and choose our specialization as well. Maybe while we're flying, I think you can do that while you're flying, maybe while we're flying to Westfall. I think I've decided we will go ahead and start off with the Restoration Shaman, and while we're here, let's don't forget to pick up our tabard. So when we do run that first dungeon, we will be able to get full credit for it. Now, profession-wise, there's not a reason to train yet. You have to get to 50. We haven't gotten to 50 on either one, so we will hold off on that. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this thing. And if that does sell, that will be some nice gold. And we're not going to do anything with cloth. Do we want to save it for another tune? Nah. We'll just go ahead and sell cloth as well as stones that we happen to get. And that should be good. And now we'll have a fresh, clean bag for when we start running dungeons. And hopefully we'll get a little bit larger bags as we go. So that only costs 10, and that costs 1 gold. We'll go ahead and do that. We will go ahead and fill those slots up with a couple of bags, put our other bag in there, and then start loading up the herbs in there. So now we really do have a fresh, clean bag. And that's all we need to do in Stormwind. So now we'll fly out to Westfall and continue our questing and continue working towards getting to 15, which really shouldn't take too much longer. Probably end up doing all the quests in Westfall up until Sentinel Hill, and that should put us very close to 15. Let's see about this specialization. So if we go ahead and choose Restoration, we'll get the Chain Heal, Riptide. I think we go ahead and get that now. Let's go ahead and do it. So there is Riptide. So we're going to put Riptide as instant, 168, and then 480 over 17. Let's see, that uses 6 mana. And this uses 16 mana, so Riptide is probably the better sort of opening. And once we start running dungeons, we may switch it down to down below. We'll see. Look at all those herbs. This will be great. So we'll head over and start working on getting what we need over here. From the gnolls and the murlocs. Riptide is so cool. And by choosing Restoration, we are sacrificing a little bit of DPS, which would speed up the questing, but it'd be fun to go ahead and queue up as a healer even at the once we hit 15. And it's not worth changing it just to get, oh, we already got it. Wow. Usually it requires killing a few more than that, but we won't complain. As I did think I saw some herbs up in here, but Must have been back, so I don't think we're gonna get them. Let's go ahead and head down and kill a couple murlocs. We'll probably pick up the treasure map quest out here and we'll just ignore that. It's not one that we'll end up doing. There it is already. And we'll just get rid of that once we've finished this quest.
I need a target. It's too far away.
So the Murlocs are not wanting to give up their Murloc clue quite as easily as the Gnolls handed over their clue. But it never hurts to spend a little extra time with Murlocs. Staple of this world are the silly Murlocs everywhere. And they really are everywhere. So there it is. And there is an herb up there. Silverleaf probably up on the hill. So we'll go up and around, get that, and then we'll go turn these quests in and see if we can choose a path where maybe we'll run into a few more herbs. It looks like we might have to fight for this one. We're going to go down to the flight point and then work our way over from there, because I think that's where I saw the herbs when we were flying in. They could have been picked over by now, but haven't seen a lot of people out here today, so they may still be there. We actually did not receive a point for skinning that one. So we must be doing good on skinning. We'll go ahead and go get this bruiseweed, although I think it may be too high. Bruiseweed might be beyond us still. Nope, just within our range. So that's good. That levels us up. There's Purge and Flame Shock. So another DPS ability, even though we are leveling as Restoration, you still get some DPS abilities here and there. And Flame Shock does more damage than Earth Shock, so we'll prioritize that. Flame Shock does an initial burst of damage and then some damage over time as well. That is yellow, so we should get a point, 49. So we are at 49 now, about to hit 50, which means we are only 25 away from being maxed out before we need to make sure we get training done in our skinning. We're now at 50, so we can train anytime now. So now he sent us to go speak to Two-Shoed Lou. We go ahead and abandon some of these quests that we're not going to go back to. just taking a little different path to get back to the farm. Again, just trying to get some herbs.
I need to target this. I'm out of range.
Get a little agility and stamina. It's probably worth putting that shield on, and I would assume that it just about has to look better. Nothing special, but yeah, better than the other one. So he's a hunter, so he probably is skinning as well. Sometimes when you have other people questing out here, it's nice because they will leave a bunch of dead animals for you to go ahead and skin. Alright, so she wants us to go ahead and get this. We're going to do this quest that's right here first because it does allow for us to start selling to her, which we will need to do.
I need to go closer. It's too far away. I need to get closer.
Alright.
I'm out of range. It's too far away. That's not ready yet.
Alright, so we just need one more here. Yep, neither one of us are leaving any things to be skinned behind.
I'm out of range. I don't have a target.
Alright, so now we can go turn this one quest in. Getting fairly close to 13. And we can sell a bunch of junk to this quest giver in here. Coyote meat actually does sell okay, but I'd rather just keep the bag clean. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break here and we'll be right back to continue. Okay, so we have completed that and it is time to go into another mine. Another day, another mine. And we actually have to go to the back of this one, so we can
I need to get closer.
take out a couple of these here at the entrance. and then we'll get the others on the way out if we need more. If no one else is in here, I'm not sure that I'm not sure if we'll get enough on the way or not. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. And we'll just hide back here. And this is a quest that leads, this is sort of the storyline that leads all through Westfall. And somewhat concludes at the Dead Mines instance. Glubtalk is going to have to go with option 2 here. And it is certainly worth, if you haven't seen all of these quests since Cataclysm, it's worth going through and questing through and not skipping everything because you're running dungeons or because you have heirloom gear on. It's pretty interesting stuff. There's certainly more of a narrative thread in even a lot of these early zones than there was before. The folks at Blizzard have gotten better at, I think, telling a story and being consistent. Telling the main story and stories around that main story throughout a zone. And that's certainly true of a place where we may not even go at all, I don't know, but over in Red Ridge Mountains, which is, City of Lakeshire, is that correct? I think that's right. The storyline through there is completely different, and once you get to the point of, without spoiling too much of it, recruiting your little army, that zone is a just totally different experience than it ever was before. The quests leading up to that, some of those are the same or similar, but again, a lot of these earlier zones are worth doing if you haven't, to see the quests. And I'm sure that's true on Horde side as well. I just don't have the nostalgia for those quests, and as I've been questing through on my Troll Mage, and have been doing a lot of the quests, they just haven't stood out to me as much. And of course, once you start running instances, which I have been on that character as well, you miss a lot of quests, and so that could be part of it as well on Horde side. Even when I miss quests on Alliance side, I've done them enough that I know the quests that I could have done or that could have come after or later. Friend request, I'm pretty sure this is going to be spam, and we'll go ahead and report these two for spamming, and then decline the friend invite. So PvP bank, just gold sellers, gold farmers still trying to make a buck here in World of Warcraft. So we've hit level 13 now. And we will take that shield. Gives us intellect. We lose a whole bunch of everything else, but one intellect is better than that whole bunch of else. And now we need to go back here and listen in on this conversation. I guess we have to eavesdrop a little closer. We'll just sit down in the grass over here. Looks like the rain is finally slowing down. A little bit at least. It's a cold, rainy day. It's a little alarming when 4 people run at you, but whoa, what just happened? Uh-oh.
What can I do for you?
He said hell. We're dealing with organization here, rookie. You don't just off the richest bum in Westfall in broad daylight and leave no witnesses. So a lot of powers behind these murders. What have you learned so far? Speak with Farmer Saldean. I believe that's the only quest we can do right now. And we will go do it. So we have now hit 13. We're about 1 quest away from being 13 and a half. So I think we're on track, as I was saying earlier, to arrive at whatever it's called, something hill. Can't remember the name right now. Arrive there and do 1 or 2 quests there, and be at 15 at that point. And that'll probably be a good point for us to wrap up, and then we'll have something to look forward to next time we play, and that'll be running our first dungeon. And we're now at 24 on herbalism, so we still have a lot of work to do on herbalism. So quest-wise, we may be not doing a whole lot out here once we do hit 15 and start queuing up in dungeons, but that's just quest-wise. We're still probably going to have to spend some time out here for both herbalism and a little bit more on skinning. Skinning is 59, so we're 16 points away from maxing out skinning, so we probably ought to get that trained before we run our first dungeon, just in case there's anything to skin in there. And actually I think first dungeon there likely would not be, unless we got Wailing Caverns, but I don't know that Wailing Caverns is a choice your first queue. I don't think it is. So we may be good to go ahead and run the first one without training. It would be nice to be able to go ahead and get herbalism up to 50, but we've got a good bit of work to do on that. Anyway, it'd be nice to get that up to 50 before we go train. I don't know if that will happen or not, though. 50 quests completed. Just got an achievement. We're going to kill 10 Harvest Watchers. And go ahead and scrap our junk here.
Careful.
There is another quest inside there. Let's go ahead and get it, and then we'll go get that herb. She's wanting us to collect a variety of things, including okra, which is out here. Oh, now it's hard to see the herb because okra is showing up. So we'll go ahead and collect all the okra here pretty quickly so that we can see the herb. I need to switch these two. I need to do flame shock before I try to do the melee attack because they're usually still not quite in range. Get 2 lightnings off here, flame shock, and then hit him with the melee. Alright, we have all the okra now, we can see the herb. And we need 7 more watchers slain. Sentinel Hill. That's the name of where we're headed here eventually. It's venturing out this way a little bit just to make sure another herb didn't show up on the map. We are almost to Sentinel Hill now.
I need to target something first.
We do need these flesh rippers. It's part of the quest we picked up in there. Thought that wolf was going to aggro on us, but it didn't. And the birds are not skinnable.
It's too far away.
It's green now. So 11 beasts are green, so we didn't get a point for that one. Once it turns green, it's not near as likely a chance that you'll get a point. 13 is still yellow, so that'll probably get us one. We just need 2 more flanks, and then we need to find some of the flesh rippers. And there is another herb. which is our priority over everything else right now, is getting herbs. Mage Royal. Oh, we're in Mage Royal range. That's great. We're not doing too bad in terms of what we can pick. We just need to get the number up.
Mom, would you get it on?
It's too far away.
I think this is the quest that you used to take, and you basically go ahead and do, if not all, a lot of the other quests in Westfall.
I'm out of range.
And if you happen to have completed this quest, the drop rate was just not great, especially I think it was on these birds. Although it may have been the gore tusks as well. But anyway, the drop rate was not great, so you may or may not have finished it by the time you got done with the other quests out here in Westfall. So it's kind of one of those, at least when I did it, sort of those optional quests. If you're doing skinning or cooking or something, it's probably worth it because of all of the other components you get from the quest, but otherwise it wasn't the best use of your time. I think that's going to be everything. Oh, we still need one more of these guys. How did I miss that?
Far away.
Skinning's up to 66 now. Alright, that is everything. So that's going to put us at 14. And no new herbs are up. Oh, yes it is. This is the second or third time we've picked this Peace Bloom out here. And that's the great part, is Peace Bloom is still red. Even though we're high enough now where we have access to a bunch of other types of herbs, the beginning herb is still red to us, which is awesome. So now we're at 29. We need 21 more herbs to get to 50 and be able to train to the next level in that. But I don't think that's going to happen before we have to go train or skinning. And there's 14. We also get Ancestral Spirit. This is out of combat res. That's what that is. Pretty certain.
Hey there. Have a good one.
Need help?
Okay. So yeah, I think we're supposed to turn this into her, then we get the quest to go deliver the food.
Be careful.
But we will go ahead and do this other quest over here first. So we hit 14, all we got was Ancestral Spirit, just making sure. And now we need to go take control of a Overload Harvest Golem, and then slay 25 of these other golems with that golem. Here's one we can take control of.
I need to get closer.
Then we go right up here and start taking out some of these guys.
I'm out of range.
And your one attack just really doesn't do that much damage. The key is getting your two attack going. And thankfully it does come off cooldown pretty quickly. So we'll just go in a circle here, try to aggro a few of them. And just get these things slain. So that's 22. That should be 23. And there is 24. Alright. So that'll do it. Let's go as far as we can with the benefit of the speedy golem here. And it will eventually kick us out of it. I think that's the last one we'll get out of it. Yeah. Alrighty.
Well met. Be careful.
We actually don't want either one of them. Now we're off. So we are well past 14 and a half, which means we're really probably talking about 2 quests here at Sentinel Hill to hit 15 and be in good shape for next time we play to go ahead and queue up for our first dungeon. Let's go ahead and get this flight point, make sure we don't miss that. Yeah, send us to Red Ridge. We don't need that. We don't need that one, probably. Feed 20 homeless people, and then we'll also get this quest that recover the attack orders and slay 12 gnolls. That's what we'll do. And we'll do that. If we don't get them here, we'll do that on the way back after feeding the people.
I'm out of range. It's too far away.
These people might be too far apart to get all 3 of them. Nope. A stew just for you. And a stew just for you. We still need 9 more, so we'll work our way back up over this way, go the opposite direction we came this time. And we'll be able to kill a few more of those river paw gnolls on our way. Alright, there's 13. $15. 16. I think there's some more groups over here. And that'll do it. So, 15, level 15, here we come. We'll just go ahead and finish this Gnoll quest just since we're out here. And that'll probably be the last quest we do in Westfall. Unless we just really get ambitious about it.
I'm out of range. That's I can't cast it.
And just need 4 more. There we have it. That'll put us a good bit into 16, past level 15, I mean.
See you. Greetings. Go with honor, friend. You need something? For the Alliance. What can I do for you? Light left.
We'll take that quest. Find Agent Kern. Might as well, because we'll probably be out there at some point skinning where Agent Kern is. Alright, so we have now hit 15. Let's see what we unlocked. Ghost Wolf. Is that a passive? No. Increasing speed. Why did it not come down into my abilities? There it is. So this increases our speed by 30%, so helps us go a little quicker. Alright, we also got talents, which will be here. We got Dungeon Finder. Oh, Wailing Caverns is a first one. Ragefire Chasm and Dead Mines. So let's see which our first choice of talent is going to go with. That's a passive ability, which I kind of like. I don't want that one. Yeah, I don't want that one. We'll take the passive ability. None of those are going to be things that really stand out as significant for us unless we are taking a lot of damage. Alright, so now let's get cleaned up here bag-wise, and
I supply only the finest goods. Have a good one.
then let's see here. It's pretty much time to wrap it up. As you see, we can now go into a specific dungeon, Dead Mines, Ragefire Chasm, or Wailing Caverns, or we can queue up for a random, get even more experience and a little bit of gold, which is always nice. So for at least for the first one, we'll probably queue up for a random, and if we don't get Dead Mines, we'll go ahead and queue up for Dead Mines specifically. Let's see if we can get a few more herbs here, at least a couple, and then we'll wrap it up. And next time we play, we'll be good to go on beginning the next chapter of our story that will involve some more significant quests. And these hulking beasts will be pretty decent to skin, but I'm not as concerned about skinning right this moment. I really want to try to find an herb or two. And it is nice that we have Ghost Wolf now if we can move a little faster. And it may be that we get a little more, we may get a little more herbs by next time we play actually going into Elwyn Forest, since all of those are still giving us points in herbalism. That would probably be a faster way to get a few more points in it, at least until they turn green over there. So we're going to turn this quest in over here. Hopefully we'll see at least one herb in the meantime, and then we're going to Hearth to Goldshire and wrap this video up, which has been levels 11 through 15. And then next time we play, which I don't know exactly when that will be, but next time we play, we will be going for the first dungeon. So I'm not going to even do any of these quests over here, because we'll see where we're at once we run that first dungeon, see how much experience we're getting. And I am just not seeing an herb. Alright, we'll head back. Things we want to try to remember is when we do run that first dungeon is putting the Stormwind Tabard on, and we probably next time we play we'll maybe just actually run up to Stormwind instead of flying, because there's some herbs up in that direction. Go ahead and train skinning in Stormwind and then queue up for a dungeon. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.